The time is now 16:48, and we're back on tape. Present here is Detective Kurt Wuest and Elizabeth Diane Downs.
We just took a short break. Diane, you indicated that you wanted to stop after the last tape.
Yeah, but I was in the middle of a thought, and when I finish this thought, then that'll be all. But we were talking about what could be more horrible than seeing my daughter get shot. And I was simply relating the fact that I can think of something that would be more horrible, and that is knowing that it's going to happen and not being able to stop it.
But that isn't suppressed, obviously.
I don't know.
You just spoke it.
Oh, I said it's an assumption. I just told you guys, if you want to play the tape back, go right ahead. But I just told you, I don't know what was more horrible than seeing my daughter get shot. And you said, what could be? And I said, I can give you an idea, sitting here logically thinking about it, what would be more horrible. But I'm not saying that that's what it is.
But you don't know if that's it.
I don't know that that's what it is.
Are you afraid now? Are you scared?
Of who?
Us?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Not worried?
No.
I think I started to say this earlier. I've been working this case since the beginning and involved very deeply in the investigation. And there are some things which just don't jive.
Okay.
Statements you've made.
Mm-hmm.
And we've learned a lot of things also during the course of this investigation. And I have a theory, for what it's worth.
Go ahead.
Let me explain it to you.
I think Kurt's heard this one.
Have you heard it?
And it's
I
an
don't
interesting
think so.
theory.
I haven't
If it's the
talked
one
to-
you're going to give me,
If you're not going to sit, I'm going to use your chair for a footrest.
go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
Is it possible, and we know you've told us numerous times you love your kids deeply.
All right.
They're basically your whole world.
Yeah.
And you've also talked about fits of depression that you've had. Said that Steve used to get you to the point where you
Yeah.
contemplated suicide.
Oh, yeah.
Is it possible that you were in one of these states of depression that night and wanted to commit suicide, but couldn't stand the thought of your kids being without a mother and
Yeah.
decided to take them with you so they could be with you?
No. First of all, I don't have the right, nobody has the right to judge whether another person lives or dies. If I chose that I should die, I would take pills because it's painless.
But who would take care of the kids?
Who'd take care of the kids? You don't want Steve
Whomever.
to. You don't want Steve
My parents
to.
would, of course. If I were to kill myself, I would take pills because I don't want to hurt. I don't like pain. I'm very bad with pain. I can't even stand a splinter. I would not take my children's life because God gave them life to do with as they saw fit. He simply loaned those kids to me to raise in the best way possible so that when they became adults, they would have a better start. It is not my decision whether their life should stop or not. And so I wouldn't do that. So even in a fit of depression, I couldn't do that.
Absolutely no way it could have happened.
Absolutely no way.
You know, if that were to happen, it would be understandable. This crime, to me, has no reason. It's totally understandable. I can't understand it whatsoever.
Like I told you before, the next time my kids and I get shot up, I'll bring the guy in with me, and he can explain why he did it. Sound fair?
Well, I doubt that's going to happen. The thing is that what I'm saying is I can understand somebody being so depressed.
I can't. I can understand somebody being so depressed that they would take their own life. It happens a lot.
Right.
But I can't understand somebody being so depressed that they would take their children's life. I have read about it in the paper a couple of times, and I couldn't understand it then. I still don't have the patience for it either.
You indicated to me one time in the hospital that you thought Cheryl was a lot better off
Yes,
than the rest of us.
yes. Cheryl's not in a foster home. Cheryl can walk. Cheryl's not held a suspect. She's not being hassled and tormented by these people. I believe in heaven and hell. And I believe that once you die, you go into a better place if you're a little kid. So Cheryl is better off. But I didn't send her there. It's not my place to do that. God decides when you go. And crazy men decide.
Crazy people.
I agree.
Persons.
Correct.
Not necessarily man.
You're right. I don't know.
Well,
That's personal. That's something else.
We're being pretty honest with
That's
each other.
fine. I appreciate that. It's the first time you guys have done that, and I appreciate that.
And you, or I don't know if you are, but you were obviously in love with Nick.
Yes, I still am.
Would you call it, I would say, just in my opinion, it's kind of almost an obsession.
No.
Well,
An obsession is something that you can't let go of.
right.
And there were times in my past when I became obsessed with things. I became obsessed to have Daniel. And I had him. But that's one thing that Nick taught me, and Nick is probably the first man that I ever truly respected because he had such values.
Have you let go of that?
Yeah,
You sure?
yeah. I still love him, and you don't let go just because you don't hang on just because you still love.
Well, we also know that Nick didn't care for kids. Not that
He liked kids.
Not that he disliked kids,
Okay.
he didn't
Want to be a daddy.
A daddy,
Right.
He didn't,
His own words, yes.
right.
He also doesn't like trouble. If
Well-
I had gone to the extent of shooting my kids, that would never bring Nick back.
Not if you weren't caught.
Oh, that's insane.
No,
Even if
it
I
is.
wasn't caught, Cheryl is still dead. I was trying to explain this to Doug earlier. It's going to affect me emotionally, probably for the rest of my life. What I saw, Cheryl's dead. Every time I look at this scar, it's going to remind me of what happened that night. And even if the words aren't said, the pain and the fear and the loneliness, it's still going to be there. And that's going to affect me, and it's going to make me an emotional person forever. Nick can't handle that. It's a weakness. It's an instability. And he can't handle that. He would never come back. This would be the stupidest thing, the stupidest motive in the world to kill the kids for Nick's sake.
Haven't you ever been totally irrational before?
Totally irrational?
Totally
No.
irrational.
Love does crazy things to people.
Yes, it does. It makes you become a mistress instead of a wife.
Not only that, but it also sometimes makes you wish that certain burdens would go away if they're considered burdens.
No.
It makes a person want to be free, to be with that person
But
they
you
love.
can't be free. If you kill somebody, you're never free because you always have that memory. You always have the guilt. You're never free.
Maybe later, but a lot of people don't think about that at the time.
Or if you
How
have,
can you not?
or if you have a void, you blank it out.
Avoid.
But how do you know that void's going to come? You can't count on it. You have no way of knowing that your mind is going to protect you from something like that. I don't like gambles. Do you remember me saying that earlier?
If somebody's been able to do that in the past, they may feel confident enough to do it again. To be able to control their mind and say, this didn't occur, I didn't have anything to do with it.
Now I'm starting to feel seasick. What are you saying? You're talking in a circle, and I'm not quite sure what you're leading up to.
What I'm saying is, like Doug said, we've got a lot of questions, there's a lot of evidence, there's a lot of things. Now you're telling us about a void that you can't remember. And you're also telling us about something more terrible than watching Christy bleed and watching her being shot. And
You're dancing around the issue. You said
yeah,
that
we
there
discussed
was
earlier.
something, there was something, if you could do it once, you could count on your mind doing it again.
Right.
What were you talking about?
I read an article about you
Okay.
not too long ago.
I want to ask you how you got that article, but go ahead.
Apparently you'd had an abortion.
Yes.
And I got the indication that you felt pretty badly about that.
Yes, I did.
Why'd you have it?
At the time, I was being very selfish, inconsiderate. Cheryl was about 2 months old, and she was colicky, and Steve was a bastard, and I just couldn't handle it, and I knew it. At the time, I didn't feel that an abortion was murder.
Do you
I
now?
assumed that it was, yes, I do.
You're telling us you committed a murder by having an abortion?
Yes.
Done it once then, huh?
I disagree.
Oh, wait a second. You just said you felt that by having an abortion you committed a murder. That means that you've done it once. Interesting scenario, huh?
I'm learning how to play the game. This is very interesting. You can twist a word and make somebody look guilty. It's very interesting.
You said earlier that before you didn't think it was murder. Do you now?
I think I'm just not going to answer that one at all. Just because I don't want you to twist the words.
We can't twist the words.
What happened back then?
We're on tape.
I know. I lived with Steve long enough to know that words can come out one way, and within just a little melting spot, you turn completely different.
Can't do that with a tape.
It's better just not to say anything, though. You can't twist anything that way.
You ever felt that you had a dual personality?
No.
Never?
No.
Have you ever done things and then somebody's told you about them the next day and I didn't really do that?
No.
Make sure.
It's still going. I hear it.
Okay. I just want to make sure Kurt's being heard or picked up by the recorder.
Oh.
Do you
Yell a
remember-
little bit.
Do you remember the incident on Palomino?
Which one?
We talked about where Steve got drugged down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember pointing a gun at him?
Nope.
You told us it was a shoe.
All right. I grabbed the black shoe off the seat.
Okay. That's not the information we have. And it's not just from Steve.
Okay.
There were other people that saw that incident. There were other people that...
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Were they inside my car? When I picked it up, it was right here by my stomach.
There's a hell of a difference between a shoe and a gun.
Yeah, but there's a hell of a
Sure.
difference between being up here and being down here. It was 9 o'clock at night, and it was in November, I believe. And it was down by my stomach. And it was a shoe. Okay.
You pointed the shoe at him and you didn't say anything, you just pointed the shoe and he thought it was a gun, and that's bizarre. I mean, look, here's my shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Does that look like a gun?
It's a little bit big.
Okay. And there's no way, I mean, even in the dark, would I think that that's a gun?
Okay.
But that's bizarre. Plus, like I said, there are other people that have confirmed that. The point I'm trying to make is, I think you're capable of becoming extremely angry.
Yes, I am.
I think you're capable of...
Everybody is, are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Under the right circumstances.
Does that mean you would kill somebody? Could you kill me if I antagonized you enough?
Not with antagonism, no.
What would it take to make you kill somebody?
To defend myself. And I don't see where a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old or 8-year-old could do anything
To
that
threaten me.
would require
Exactly.
being shot, no
I
matter
agree
what they
with you.
did.
I agree.
No
with
matter
you.
what they did.
Nothing. I rest my case.
No, it's not rested, Diane.
It's not rested at all.
Okay, go on then. Let's hear some more.
Why did you shoot your kids, Diane?
I didn't. I would have no reason to. My kids love me more than anybody in the world.
You're pretty possessive of those kids, son.
Of course, they're part of me.
No, it's not more than... It's much, much more than being... Showing your children love. It's possessiveness. It's a tremendous possessiveness. I saw the anger in your eyes when Steve was down there with those kids and you couldn't be there. I mean, you were extremely angry. And it wasn't that you couldn't be down there just at that particular time. It was because Steve was down there and you weren't down there.
I agree.
And those are your kids.
I agree.
And you didn't want Steve being around them.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because Steve was telling you guys that I did it.
I think that was before then.
No, it wasn't. He told you guys the day he got here, which was Friday. Don't give me that bullshit.
That's besides the point. It
Okay,
really is.
okay.
It really is.
Let's get beside the point again.
You displayed a lot of anger just the fact that he was down there seeing those kids.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, the hell with the kids.
I told you, he doesn't have any part of our life. He's totally exempt. We don't need him. We don't want him.
I got the distinct impression it was sheer jealousy and
that is no
possessiveness.
motive to destroy my
Possessiveness.
children.
I realize that. Well,
Then what
I'm
are we
beating
going
around the
for?
bush,
What are we
okay?
doing? Okay.
I'm beating around the bush.
Go for it.
The motive I'm talking about is if you can't have them, nobody can.
Wrong. That I've never done. If that was the case, why didn't I try to do something to Charlene?
We haven't gotten that far yet, maybe.
Maybe you
One
could.
thing at a time.
Conversation?
One thing at a time.
What? Say that again. I think I missed something here.
One thing at a time.
You mean I was going to go back and get Charlene later?
I don't know.
Aha, I
Who's to
see.
say you wouldn't?
Okay.
You're a lady who likes to have total control.
You're right. If I can't have it, I shuck it.
You shuck it?
Yeah,
Get rid of it.
that's right.
We know a lot
If
about
I
you,
can't
Diane.
control Nick, I don't want Nick. It's better than getting ulcers over it. Don't you agree?
That's what I would do.
Right.
That's what I would do.
If I was that type of person, that I had to have total control.
Okay.
I think someone that requires total control couldn't just chuck it.
Obviously, you didn't have control of Nick. Never had.
Right.
Still want him, though, don't you?
No.
Still
don't.
love him.
Yes. I love him. I don't want him. I don't want to possess him.
Still wish he'd come to Oregon, right?
No, I don't. I don't. I truly expected him to come. And I found out from talking to him last night on the phone for the first time that he really wasn't coming. I was shocked.
You consider yourself a good mother?
Excellent.
Excellent?
Yes, I do.
Loving, caring, thoughtful?
Yes.
Would there be a lot of people that would say the same thing about you as a mother?
Probably. I gave Susan Stafford a list of 12 names of people she could call and talk to that had seen me with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an adoring mother. Why?
Just asking.
Okay.
Just asking. You said you wanted to play hardball, Diane.
That's fine.
Well, we could probably come up with a longer list that says you're not.
Probably. And I could bet you probably 2 years' wages that they're all Steve's friends.
No?
Mm-mm.
Give me some names.
No.
We're not obligated to do that.
No.
Then I don't believe you.
You know, we don't want you harassing people or whatever, but I can...
One name is my aunt, who Steve gives money to. He's an endless sugar daddy. One is my ex-babysitter, whom
that?
Steve was schooling her niece,
Who's that?
sister-in-law. I don't know. I'm not obligated to tell you.
Fine.
You play hardball, guys.
Diane, your story stinks. This whole thing is
Then you better go get some deodorant.
It stunk from the beginning.
I'm sorry. Like I told you, the only crime I've committed is not bringing that person in myself. And I truly apologize for that, but I didn't realize that I'd ever be put on the LaneCounty Sheriff's payroll. If I had known at the time that I had a job waiting for me, I'd have damn sure made an effort.
There was a guy out there. I have no doubt in my mind at all. That boy, this guy was out there. He was at the golf course. He was walking down the road, hitchhiking, doing all kinds of stuff.
I have no idea about that.
No, he was.
There was no
Sorry.
man to shot your kids.
There was a man out in that particular area that night. We've got lots of witnesses. Your folks have lots of witnesses that sustain that. But and there was a yellow car out there that night too. Not at that scene, but near there. It was
Okay.
parked alongside the road. There's no question in my mind that you saw those things.
Okay.
Because they were out there, not necessarily in the exact locations, but they were right out in that general area.
Good. Now you know more than I do.
You saw them, and we have lots of witnesses that saw them.
I didn't see a man at the country club. I didn't see a man hitchhiking on the road. And I didn't see... Where did you say the yellow car is?
Up in that general area.
I didn't... Well, I can't say that. I didn't see a yellow car in that general area because I'd be a fool.
Parked alongside the road, just like you described it.
On Old Mohawk.
Not on Old Mohawk.
Okay, then I didn't see that car. And if you would like to make something out of that, fine. I don't know. I have no idea who the person was that was hitchhiking. I didn't even talk to the guy that saw him. I haven't got the vaguest idea.
We've talked to those people. We've talked to all the people that saw the car and all the people that saw all these bushy-haired people running around.
Okay.
And they were out there.
All right.
Okay. That, we don't deny.
Okay.
But the rest of the story stinks.
Good.
It does.
I'm sorry about that. What can I do? I mean, I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to tailor it just to make you guys happy.
You already
I've got to
changed
tell
it,
you the
Diane.
way. I did. Tell me how.
You've changed it by saying that this guy knew you now. He knew your tattoo. He knows about you. He threatened you. That's a hell of a change from what you said the first time around.
There was no reason,
That's a hell of a change.
no reason for you not to say that at the very beginning
Okay. No reason in your mind.
in anybody's
Because
mind.
you're a cop that carries a gun.
And we had cops carrying guns outside your hospital room when you gave us these first statements.
True, but how long were you going to stay?
If this would have been the true story, as long as it was necessary.
Bullshit! You're a liar and a half.
How long did we stay with the kids?
About a month.
It's probably longer than that, but that's okay. But
Yeah.
they're...
Give me some credit, dear.
You feel pretty comfortable that they're secure now? Do you think this bushy-haired stranger is going to get them?
Has no reason to. Has no reason to. Excuse me, I was drinking. Why should he? You're pursuing me. He's not being threatened at all.
Well,
And why did you say bushy? I didn't say bushy.
I don't know. Somebody said bushy one day,
The
and that's
newspaper.
kind of
It's stuck, I know.
what's to prevent him from coming out of the woodwork and getting you anyway because you're under all this pressure? And you're liable to spill your guts any minute. That this person that knows
I have no
you...
idea. Maybe you should put a guard on me. But you won't. See? I was right from the beginning.
You probably will.
Yeah.
Probably will.
There was no reason to put my life into jeopardy because you guys wouldn't have protected it. You were too busy trying to take it.
We're not trying to take your life, Diane. We're trying to find out who shot your kids. And if it was
And
you,
I'm
that's the way
doing
it
what I
goes.
can. Fine, I
If
agree.
it's you, you're going to take the fall for it. If
I
it wasn't
agree.
you, then I'm going to quit this job.
That's why
Because,
the prison system was set up. It isn't set up very well, but that's why it's set up, and that's why it protects the honest people from hurting themselves. Because we know that if we live honestly every day, I don't steal, I don't cheat, I don't commit murder, whether you believe that or not, I don't rip people off, I don't come in late for work, I'm probably one of the most honest people you'd ever want to meet.
And you don't lie, you told us.
Listen to me, it's...
You don't lie?
You don't lie?
As an honest person...
Is that right? You don't lie?
May I finish a statement?
Yes or no, and then you can go on with your statement.
As a general rule, I do not lie. Is that vague enough?
And you have you lied to us at all about this?
In the beginning, no.
In the beginning, no, you didn't lie?
I did not lie to you, no.
Okay.
Now?
No, I'm not lying to you. I simply...
Wait a second.
Okay.
In the beginning...
You didn't lie to us in the beginning, you're not lying to us now, so when we're...
You guys are slow, aren't you? Let me brief you quickly. You made a point of trying to make me remember exactly when I recall the man using my name, correct? When did I recall the man using my name? This is a test now. Don't fuck it up.
You mean what you told us tonight?
Yes, this
About a month
evening.
ago.
No.
But you also
Just
thought about...
6 weeks ago when I was in the hospital having my surgery on my arm.
You also thought about what you were going to tell us when you got to the hospital because of what the man had said to you. So you were consciously thinking about it at that time.
Perhaps at that time.
Yeah.
I won't say that I was consciously lying to you, though, in the beginning.
Why won't you say that?
Because I wasn't. I don't think I was.
You knew about
Excuse me.
the man threatening you on the way to the hospital. You've already told us that.
Yeah.
So what happened between that point and the hospital?
Because I don't know exactly what he said.
Wait a second, you just told us a few minutes ago that you didn't trust us and you didn't expect we could protect you because of the way we were
Okay.
the first night you were in the hospital.
Okay.
So you knew that this guy knew you the
That
first
was
night you were
not-
in the hospital.
That was not the first night in the hospital, no. Listen again, Kurt. Get
Okay.
your brains together and take it out of your shoe.
Okay.
When I first went to the hospital, I told you guys, to the best of my memory, what happened. Clear? As the days progressed, I saw that you guys were assholes. You couldn't be trusted as far as I could throw you. And I may be strong, but some of you weigh a lot. I didn't trust you.
Why?
Because I could hear you gossiping about things that you weren't saying to my face. We went over that too. You guys are dull boys. Go back to school. Okay, you'd say things to my face. You'd say other things in the hall. I got to where I didn't trust you more and more every day. I also didn't know who shot me. That made me distrust people. And when you guys were being deceitful, that made me distrust you, even though you were caught. As time progressed, I had Tracy telling me that I had to prove myself innocent. Bullshit. This is America. God damn it, I am innocent. Okay?
You're saying that. You're
Yeah.
saying that, yes.
Okay. I had other people telling me that I was the suspect. Had a lot of pressures, a lot of assholes chasing me around.
Right.
Namely the cops. Okay, I went in for my surgery 2 weeks later. I haven't lost you yet, have I?
No.
And you're still with me?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
2 weeks later, I go into surgery. And you guys have been chasing me around. I go to sleep. Disgusted, discouraged, tired, distressed. Because who in the fuck do I hire to protect me from the cops? And it comes back to me that the man used my name. At that time, I wasn't talking to you because you took my kids away. You gave them to CSD. What the shit am I going to tell you? Nothing. You don't trust me? I damn sure don't trust you.
Must not have cared much about your kids at that point then, huh?
At that point, what could it have done to tell you that the man used my name?
Would have done a lot.
It would have done a lot for you, perhaps, but it wasn't going to do a damn sight for me.
You don't know that.
It was going to make me put my name out on the line so the man would come back and try to take me out. And then maybe my kids, because the newspaper states the fact that Christy woke up. I'm not going to put Christy's life into jeopardy either. Why should I tell you anything? Already you fucked it up real good. What more could I do to help?
Why would you be afraid of us?
I didn't say I was afraid. I said I didn't like you and I didn't trust you.